Hedgehog Hollow. Now, one of my most viewed videos is the new baby bear stamp that's coming out in the catalogue come June 1st. And I know it was one of my first, so it was upside down. There was some few errors with it. So I wanted to show you something else to do with your baby bear stamp when you get it. And you may have seen, let me just grab them here, these pictures going around the internet of different colour combinations. And I thought they're absolutely gorgeous, but I can't really read them. So if you come to the studio, we've now got a frame that has these cards in on the wall, and they're all different colour combinations. And I'm going to show you a couple of techniques during the video, and also all of the different colours as well. And if you look at below the video, there'll be a link to the blog. And on the blog, I'm going to put lots of pictures and things so you can save those and have a look at them later. So this first is the blue bear, which I really like. So Soft Sky is the first layer. So that is, well, these are all stuck together. Oh dear. There we go. Don't stack your photopolymers like that. So that's this really solid layer. So that's your first step. And when you get the stamp set as well, so where he is, it says number 1. So step 1, and then against number 2, it's 2, and against number 3, it's 3. So as long as you put them back on the right bits of photopolymer, you'll always know which stage it is. Then the next layer you would stamp is your layer 2, which is your pool party. And finally you do, sorry, other way around, that's your layer 2. That's what happens when they're not on their stickers. And then that's your layer 3 with lots of texture for the fur. And that's done in Bermuda Bay. So that's that one. Then we have the orange bear. So he is a Peekaboo Peach stamped off, which I'll show you later in the video how to do that. Then a Peekaboo Peach without stamping off, followed by a pumpkin pie. And then these are your 2 pinkies. So this is your light pink bear. So ideal if you've got a new baby or something like that. And this is a bit more of a richer colour. So you've got Pink Pirouette, Blushing Bride and Flirty Flamingo. Sweet Sugar Plum stamped off, then the Sweet Sugar Plum, then the Rich Raspberry. And this is your more traditional. There's 2 different types of the brown bear. So this first one is a crumb cake stamped off, followed by a crumb cake, followed by a tip top taupe. And then on this side we have a crumb cake, a soft suede and an early espresso. And this is the other brown. So these are a bit richer than the other one. So you have a Sahara Sand, a crumb cake and a soft suede, or a crumb cake, a chocolate chip stamped off and then a chocolate chip. And these are your green bears and your yellows. So your yellows are so saffron stamped off, then your so saffron, then your crushed curry. And again, a pear pizzazz stamped off, a pear pizzazz and an old olive. And finally, we have our grey bear, who is smoky slate stamped off, smoky slate and then a basic grey. So this is a really good technique. And as I showed you in the first video, you can use 1, 2 or 3 stamp pads depending on what colours you want and what you've got in your supplies. So I'm going to pick, I do love the Rich Raspberry, the pink one. So I'm going to use my Peach Bear to show you the stamped off technique, and then I'm going to use the Pink Pirouette here to show you to use 3 colours. So I've got all 3 stamps here. Let me grab my Peekaboo Peach and my Pumpkin Pie. There we go. So we're going to do this one first. So you can see it's layer 1 is a Peekaboo Peach stamped off, then a Peekaboo Peach, then a pumpkin pie. So we'll take you through that. So I'm going to grab I'm going to ink up my photopolymer stamp, like so. I've used these lots of times, so there won't be any of the residue left from where they're created. So take a scrap piece of paper, stamp it off lightly once, and then stamp it down on your cardstock. Like so. So it's quite a light colour. I'm just going to clean this off because we're going to do it in a couple of different colours. Put that one out of the way. Then we're going to get our step 2, which is this stamp here. So it's still quite solid in the middle here. And one thing you can use your Stamp-A-Majig if you want something a bit more precise. But I find if you sit, and sorry if my head gets in the way of the camera, if you sit quite well over it, because the photopolymers are see-through, you can get a really good impression yourself. So there you go, I think that's pretty perfect at the bottom there. So that's Peekaboo Peach stamping off once, then Peekaboo Peach straight off. And then for our last layer, we're going to use pumpkin pie. We're going to ink him up. And again, sorry if my head gets in the way of the camera. But if you look at it like a bird's eye view, you'll find you do stamp them on much better. And as I say, if you really wanted to, you can use the Stampin' So there we go. That's our Peekaboo Peach Bear with pumpkin pie. And there'll be lots of photos on the blog. So as I say, if you look below the video, you'll see there's a link to the blog, and you can have a look there at all the different colour combinations I went through at the beginning, as well as there's the link to the old teddy bear video, which, as I say, I know it's upside down, but it does show you how to use it to make a card. So now we're going to do our pink teddy bear with our pink pirouette, our blushing bride and our flirty flamingo. So let me put those two stamp pads out the way, and we will grab ourselves a flirty flamingo, a pink pirouette and a blushing bride. Put them around. So layer 1, so this is using 3 colours. It's quite hard to see. Got all the pink on there. That's about right. If you do get a few patches that don't ink up, because you've got the 3 layers, it doesn't matter so much. It's much more forgiving than traditional stamping if a bit is missing. So that's layer 1. Then we're going to go on to our blushing bride for our layer 2. That's about right. And excuse my head a second. And finally, we're going to use the Flirty Flamingo, which is one of the new in colours for 2016 to 2018. Comes out June 1st. There we go. Again, excuse the head. And there is our pink bear. So that's another technique you can use with your 3-step stamping rather, is to use 2 or 3 ink pads. And if you check out the first baby bear video I did, I know it was upside down, but I did show you how to use 1 ink pad as well. So you don't have to have everything in your supplies. Of course, we'd all like to. There are lots of different techniques, but I'd lay a few of these out so you'll get that as the still on the end of the video. Let's move those out of the way. So you've got your pink, your blues, and so I put these in a frame in my craft studio, and I'll make sure a pic of that is included as well in the post. So let's see if we can tuck him in there like that. So hopefully you can see all of those on the video. Thanks for joining us today. If you've got any questions, comments, feedback, I'd love to hear from you. You can do that through the comments on the video, you can comment on the blog, or you can send me an email through the blog as well. I look forward to hearing from you. Happy stamping. Bye.